Welcome to the Geeks and Greeks podcast, where we bring you the latest and greatest in the world of sports. I'm Adam.
And I'm Tom, and for this episode, for April 22nd, 2026, we have Geeks and Greeks news.
We also have updates from the NBA and NHL playoffs, as well as the pinnacle of the Dallas Cowboys. So grab your favorite team's jersey, settle in with some snacks, and don't forget to like and subscribe and get ready for an adrenaline-packed ride through the world of sports.
And here we go.
We are back for another week of the Geeks and Greeks.
Woo!
Unfortunately, we are missing one of said geeks. Pete was not going to be with us, unfortunately, this week, but he should be back next week without any real problems. So we will continue on and power through without him. Also, to get a quick update real quick, we will not be doing the Game of the Week in this episode, since this was Pete's Game of the Week choice, and it was also somewhat important for him. We are going to go ahead and push that back until next week's episode when Pete does get back. So we will not be having a Game of the Week's section for this show. So on that note, though, don't forget to like and subscribe on the episode. We always appreciate it a lot, guys. And we will move on into our news.
Last year was the inaugural race of the Beijing Robot Half Marathon. Give me 1 second here. I actually have pictures. Okay. The race is run in parallel with human runners, and it's a pretty good time. The 21-kilometer race started last year, and the winning robot had a time of 2 hours and 40 minutes. This year, a submitted robot achieved a 50-minute 26-second winning time. This completion time surpasses the current world record for the half marathon, currently set at 57:20. I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
Do you want Skynet? Because this is how you get Skynet.
Yeah, you get robots that can outrun you. It's just downhill from there, man.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised it took him 50 minutes. It's a robot. I figured he didn't have it done in like 20. He at least had to program it for like a semi-human pace.
Moving on to the next story, Luther Davis was an Alabama D lineman from 07 to 10, but hasn't done much since. That is until 2023, when he used a series of fake driver's license, a series of wigs, a do-rag, and many fraudulent financial documents to impersonate 3 NFL players. Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr., Cleveland tight end David Joku, and Green Bay safety Xavier McKinney. He entered multiple financial institutions and secured nearly $20 million worth of loans under the name of these 3 gentlemen.
I feel like there's a joke here where like everyone looks the same. Because like this dude doesn't look like maybe Michael Penix. Like you could maybe pass for Penix, maybe. But other than that, he looks absolutely nothing like either Njoku or the Packers safety. Absolutely nothing.
And I love how the police report specifically calls out with a do-rag and multiple wigs. He impersonated these gentlemen. I was like, okay, I see.
Right? Like, is it like this is how do you do that? Like how does like these financial institutions not do any kind of research for, loans that size.
Seriously, do you not Google? It's
and obviously I know these the real NFL players probably have people that take care of a lot of that kind of stuff for them. But I feel like should be a lot better vetting process for that than apparently there is. And also I'm kind of curious of what quantities of money he got for each. Is the tight end coming in and asking for $10 million? Because it's a tight end, man, not a quarterback.
Oh shoot. Yeah, they didn't really break it down. They just said multiple institutions totaling $20 million, or totaling just under $20 million.
He did go to Alabama, not a place known for their education.
Oh shoot! All right, moving on. All right, now at time of recording, the NFL draft has not happened yet, but go on over and check out our 2026 NFL mock draft episode. Not now, but after this episode, you can go check out that one. But that our predictions have already been taken, specifically the Bengals number 10 pick not belonging to the Giants in exchange for Dexter Lawrence. So
yeah, didn't call that when I called the Bengals trading the pick. At least I was right. They traded the pick.
Yep, Adam
just
called
not
the
to
pick.
who I thought.
Dexter Lawrence, a 3-time Pro Bowler, defensive tackle, is going to be a welcome improvement to the Bengals defense, who ranked 30th in the league last year and gives the Giants their 3rd pick in the first 37 of the draft.
Don't they have 2 picks in the top 10 now?
Yes.
Because they have their pick at number 5?
Yeah,
or
4
6?
or 5. And then
4 is Tennessee.
And then 10, yeah. So
they have 5 and 10 or 6 and 10, something like that. So they have 2 top 10 picks in this draft.
Yeah, their natural pick is before the Bengals, and now they're that pick in 10.
That also says something about how much Dexter Lawrence hated New York, that he'd rather be in Cincinnati. He goes from one dumpster fire organization to another dumpster fire organization. I feel kind of bad for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for him too, but the Giants are not the worst team in New York. So
no, but to be fair, nobody can out Jets the Jets, man. The Jets and Browns are forever linked of who's going to be the worst run organization in the league. But the Giants aren't that far behind them.
There was a guy on the radio today when he was talking about the Cincinnati in rebuild mode, and he goes, you can't really say they're rebuilding if they've never had anything built. They're in building mode.
Yeah, they were, when Carson Palmer was there in the early 2000s, they had a pretty good team. They could just never get past the Steelers because the Pittsburgh Cheaters decided to just take out Carson's knee every year. And then with Andy Dalton and AJ Green, again, it wasn't a bad team. They were a perennial playoff team that a good 5 to 8 years with those guys, but they just couldn't win really past the divisional round. That was the farthest they ever got.
Yeah, it's weird to think of the Steelers as being the buzzsaw of that division, but they weren't.
They have been for a long time. Baltimore was really until. Baltimore had an amazing defensive stuff in the early 2000s, and even in the middle 2000s, they weren't bad, but they were never the team. Usually it was Pittsburgh, and most of the time the rest of the division was chasing Pittsburgh going into it. But yeah, and now it's just now that entire division is just a giant free for all. Because after this last season, who knows what's going to happen with Baltimore? Who knows? Pittsburgh should be bad, but every time we think they're going to be bad, they somehow make it to 500. But that was when they had a competent head coach.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens without Tomlin.
I don't think it feels like the entire division's almost a dumpster fire, which I feel bad for because Cincinnati has good players. They just can't put a team together. Feels like another team.
Maybe this will be Lamar Jackson's year to shine.
We thought that last year, man. We thought last year was Josh Allen's time to shine. He couldn't get it
Oh
done.
my God. I had such high hopes for so many teams, and most of them didn't even make it to the playoffs.
What we said in the earlier episode that last year's playoffs was the first time ever that the two teams in the Super Bowl didn't make it to the playoffs. Neither one did. And it's crazy.
Yeah, both Super Bowl contenders didn't make it, and both 1 seeds didn't make it.
Yeah, because Detroit and was it Baltimore?
Kansas City was it?
No, Baltimore was the one. No, Kansas City was the 1 seed. You're right. Yeah, they had to buy a game because they got like just lucky win after lucky win, scraping by. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing that everything's this wide open already, and that we just don't know what's going to happen.
But moving on to our finals news story, offensive tackle Trent Williams reached an agreement with the 49ers and renegotiated for a 2-year, $50 million contract, $37 million guaranteed. The 17-year veteran becomes the first non-quarterback to surpass $400 million in career earnings and $225 million in guarantees. Way to go, man.
That's amazing because he's also an offensive lineman, and usually you don't think an offensive lineman is getting paid like that. But, I mean, he's been one of the best, if not the best, left tackles in the league for 13, 14 years at this point. Like, he's one of the best. But, yeah, he was amazing when he came out in the draft, and he had a great rookie season, and he hasn't looked back since. So, I give him credit, man. It's props.
Oh, is he the reason Brock Purdy is tolerable?
Tolerable is pushing it, but yeah, he's the reason that Brock Purdy is upright.
He's just not getting laid out day after day.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't even start he didn't start in San Francisco. He was drafted by the Commanders, so he started out in Washington. He started in Washington, then ended up going to San Francisco later.
Shoot, I thought he was in San Francisco the whole time.
No, Washington drafted him.
How long was he in Washington? I'm sorry, that was
I don't remember exactly how long he was in Washington, but he was there for a while.
Yeah.
I would guess at least probably a good, at least probably 8 years or so.
Ah.
I mean, because like I said, he was drafted in 2010.
Yeah,
he was in Washington 9 years, and he's been in San Francisco for 6. So he spent most of his career in Washington.
Wow, that's so weird.
He missed 2019. I'm guessing with an injury or something, but he didn't play in 2019. I can't remember why he didn't play in 2019. But just to kind of give you a rundown, so he's played 15 years so far. He has made the Pro Bowl 12.
It's starting to become a little more apparent why he's gotten paid.
Yeah. He's been first team All-Pro 3 years in a row. And then he also made the All-Pro team twice on the second team. So he's a 5-time All-Pro player, 3 of which was first team. And that was 22, 23, and 24. So he's one of, if not the best offensive lineman in the NFL and has been for over a decade.
Wow.
And that is why that man has been paid over $400 million.
That is bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
man.
he's been fairly durable. I mean, he hasn't played all 16 games for most of the season, but he'll miss 1 or 2 games. But the worst, there's been a couple of seasons where he's only played 10. But he's only got 2 seasons where he's played a full season. And that was 2012 and 2013. He played all 16 games. Last year he played 16, but there are 17 games now, so it's not technically a full season. So he did miss a game. I don't know which game. It may have been the last game, even though they were fighting for a playoff spot. So I doubt they rested him for a week.
No.
But yeah, so he's absolutely fantastic.
Moving on to the next segment of our podcast, a word from our sponsor.
Hey guys, what's up? Before we continue our show, I want to talk to you about our new sponsor, Dubby. You ever feel like you need that extra oomph to power through those late night study sessions, clutch those game wins, or finish that epic video edit? I know I do, and I finally found something that actually works without the jitters or the dreaded crash. Let me introduce you to Dubby. That's right guys, we're partnering with Dubby and we're seriously hyped. Dubby is our new go-to energy drink and it is a total game changer. What makes it so different is first off, and this is huge for me, Dubby has no artificial dyes, plus it's all completely sugar-free. So, you don't get that quick energy spike followed by a massive crash. And the taste is absolutely amazing. Dubby comes with a bunch of different flavors, such as tiger's blood, green apple, strawberry pineapple, plus limited time offers that do go quickly. I'm currently obsessed with the tiger's blood myself, but they're all really good. Alright, so how do you get your hands on this stuff? Head on over to dubby.gg and use our code GEEKS10 for 10% off your entire order. That's dubby.gg, dubby.gg. Seriously guys, go give it a try. You won't regret it. We love this project and I'm sure you will too. It's definitely been a game changer for us and I'm stoked to be sharing it with the rest of you. Now, let's go ahead and get back to our show.
Moving on to the NBA Finals. We are in the first round. Thank you. Playoffs. Not finals yet.
The finals have not started. The playoffs just started.
I keep trying to jump the queue. All right. We are in the first round of the NBA playoffs. In the Western Conference, the Thunder lead the Suns 1-0. Game 2 starts in about 20 minutes. Lakers lead the Rockets 2-0. Game 3 is on Friday. Nuggets and Timberwolves are tied 1 apiece. Game 3 is tomorrow night. Spurs are tied with the Trailblazers 1-1. Game 3 is on Friday. In the Eastern Conference, Magic lead over the Pistons somehow.
1-0, but game 2 of that is going on right now.
Yeah.
And Pistons are winning at the end of the third quarter 84-62. So
yeah, I'm not surprised. How are the Magic here?
I don't know. The Magic are one of these weird teams where they have two really good players, but like it just feels like the team chemistry isn't there. Like it's the ball movement's bad. Like it's like one-on-one the whole time. It's just not a good... Something's not clicking with this team. I don't know what it is, but they've got good players. I don't know if they just need a new coach or if they need to shake it up and move a couple guys. I don't know, but I was really hoping that they would lose the play-in tournament and lose to Charlotte, and Charlotte would be in this spot.
I would love the Hornets in there.
It would have been a lot more fun. Charlotte has been was so much fun to watch this season. They were so good. Like they were good as a young team, and it was fun to watch them growing and watch the game because it was really entertaining.
But then we have the Cavaliers leading over the Raptors 2-0. Game 3 is on Thursday. The Knicks are tied with the Hawks 1 apiece. Game 3 is on Thursday. And the Celtics are tied with Philly 1 apiece. Game 3 is on Friday. I was really hoping to get Pete's reaction on this one, but maybe next time.
Yeah. Right? Like, so right now, the biggest surprises is the Suns beating the Thunder for a game. And then honestly, the Hawks and Celtics, and the Hawks and the Knicks being tied, as well as the Sixers and the Celtics being tied.
Yeah, I was really surprised how many matchups are tied at this point.
Unfortunately, depending on what happens, I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs lose theirs because Wembanyama went down and left game 2 with an injury. So I haven't gotten a chance to find out what's going on with that. But if he's out, they're not going to move on.
Yeah, so, I'm sorry. If you don't have Wembanyama, you're done. You're just 5 dudes.
Yep. Yeah, so I forget what happened. I don't know if he's still out or what, but yeah, he's got to be there for them to have a chance. And I've been trying. So,
but moving on to the other sport that's not football, the NHL playoffs are also starting, and I love how they always mirror the NBA. In the Western Conference of Hockey, the Avalanche lead the Kings 2-0. Game 3 is on Thursday. The Wild are tied with the Stars. Game 3 is about to start in 15 minutes. Golden Knights are tied with the Mammoths, 1 game each. Game 3 is on Friday. Oilers lead over the Ducks 1-0. Game 2 starts later tonight. And then in the Eastern Conference, Bruins are tied with the Sabres 1 game apiece. Game 3 is on Thursday. Canadiens are tied with the Lightning 1 game apiece. Game 3 is on Friday. Hurricanes lead the Senators 2-0. Game 3 is on Thursday. And the Flyers lead the Penguins 2-0. Game 3 is wrapping up right about now. Have to check on that.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that the Mammoth are in the playoffs. Like, they're a brand new team. Well, not brand new. They moved them from Phoenix up to Utah. But like when they moved them, Phoenix was a dumpster fire team, and somehow now they're in the playoffs. I don't know. It's kind of crazy how they can turn that around so quickly in hockey, and how it doesn't matter. New teams make the playoffs all the time. Seattle, I don't know if Seattle has yet or not, but it's nuts to see how quickly and how they're actually a decent team nowadays. So, but hey, you know what? Props to them. I mean, at least they made the playoffs. I'm more upset and sad that Detroit didn't make it this year.
Yeah, you made it this far. Now the fun part is, can you stay here?
Yeah, true. It's also interesting because hockey's brackets done differently than the NBA's brackets are. So NBA just does like the Western Conference, like 1 through 8 technically make the playoffs. You have 1 seed versus the 8. Hockey does theirs by division. So like Sabres are the number 1 seed, Bruins are the 4 seed coming out of their division, not the entire conference. And it's like Lightning and Canadiens are 2-3. Like, so they have their matchup set by division, not by full conference. And it's interesting that they do it this way.
So it's a little more like the NFL in that regard.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of, I don't know if they have, I don't know if they have wild cards. I don't follow hockey enough anymore, unfortunately.
I wish I did.
To talk about it. But yeah, they set theirs up by division more than conference. So Detroit missed by a lot. Never mind. But yeah, it's interesting to see what happens. And Pittsburgh's back in the playoffs, man. Sidney Crosby always locking them playoff minutes.
But that brings us to the Pinnacle, where we examine a specific team of the NFL and speculate on the best players of each skill position. This week, we're examining the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I was going to start with Adam anyways. Adam, who's the best Cowboys quarterback?
All right. So in doing due diligence and looking through all the stuff for the Cowboys, because I want to make sure that biasness or anything didn't take into account, because when it's already your favorite team, sometimes your favorite players from said team aren't necessarily the best quarterbacks and players from that position that you think they may be. I honestly I didn't think I would. It kind of surprised me. I came up with Troy Aikman, to be honest with you. I really did. Like, I was looking at, it's funny because he's not the passing leader in yards. Like Dak and Tony Romo both have passed him in yards for the franchise. But I mean, he had 165 total touchdowns, which isn't a ton for passing touchdowns. But then you have to remember who was running the ball at the same time. And like over his career, he has the same amount of passing yards his entire career as Dak already has now, like 8-9 years in. So like they didn't throw it as much just because you didn't have to. But he's also a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a 6-time Pro Bowler, and also Super Bowl MVP. And it's like, whereas the regular season stats favor Dak and Tony better, they never really won. Like, at most combined, they've won 1 or 2 playoff games. Combined, they won 1 or 2 playoff games. Like, I couldn't give it to them. I had to go with the 3-time Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP. Like, as much as I think Detroit Aikman is slightly overrated in the grand pantheon of NFL quarterbacks and players, he's the best one that's been in Dallas.
All right. So, in my opinion, the Cowboys have had 4 major quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era, all with similar lengths of careers, 10 to 13 years, that area. You have Staubach, you have Aikman, Romo, and Prescott. Well, of the 4, 2 of these have never attended a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Romo, and I'm sorry, Dak. I have to cut you there. That leaves me Aikman and Staubach. One of these won 3 Super Bowls. The other attended 5 and won 2. At the end of the day, I had to give it to Roger Staubach because 5 Super Bowls inside of 9 years, that is Tom Brady numbers right there. That is unbelievable. And yes, I realize that the NFL in the 70s is a different animal than the NFL in the 90s. But Staubach dealt with the monster he had to deal with in the 70s, and he dominated. So I had to give it to Roger Staubach.
He was my number 2, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it was close between the 2 of them. And something that's interesting, because while he's, I think, 5th or 6th for passing yards, because Danny White has more, and he was the quarterback through most of the 80s.
That was the weird one.
He had 22,700 yards and 153 touchdowns, which is not that much off of Aikman. But something you have to kind of remember is Staubach didn't have his rookie season until he was 27.
Yeah, because he served in the Navy for 4 years.
Yep. After he went to college, he served in the Navy for 4 years, and he didn't go to one of the academies, though. He didn't go to, like, Navy or Army or anything like that. He went to, like, Youngstown State.
Oh, I thought he went to the Naval Academy.
I mean, for college football.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, for college football, he didn't play for, like, Army or Navy or anything like that. He played for, like, I think it's Youngstown State or something like that. Like, it was a small college. But then he went to the military for 4 years after that. So he had a late start to his career and played till he was 37, which is impressive at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I remember a documentary I watched where the Cowboys still drafted him out of college, knowing that they wouldn't get him for 4 years.
And just dealt with it. Yep.
And they just dealt with it. And they're like, yes, we pick him. I'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, it was close between the 2. It really was. Like, Staubach was really, really good. And I mean, it's hard to deny it. So, like I said, I almost chose it.
Yeah, I was a coin flip between Aikman and Staubach, and I know it may be silly, but attending 3 and losing 3 is kind of up there with winning 1. So if you have to cut it down to the sheer Super Bowls, I don't know.
I was wrong. My bad. Roger Staubach did go to college at Navy.
Yeah.
That's why he went to the Naval Academy. I could have sworn he went to, like, Youngstown State or something, because I remember, that may have been a summer thing, because Ed O'Neill tells a story about playing Roger Staubach in college, because Ed O'Neill, the actor, used to be a football player before he became an actor.
Yep, he played for the Steelers, I think.
I think so, something like that. He played for Detroit, if it's the same person.
Yeah.
If it's the same Ed O'Neill, he played for 6 years in Detroit and 1 year in Green Bay. So.
Maybe. Anyways.
It may not be the same person. Although, I mean, he's listed at 6'3", 230, and Ed O'Neill's a pretty big dude, so it may be the same person. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, I agree with it, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And then, Tom, we'll get this out of the way. Who's the best running back at the Dallas Cowboys?
Emmitt Smith. Next. Yeah, by far the most rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns than any two Cowboys combined. Yeah. Honorable mention to Tony Dorsett and Ezekiel Elliott. The ones you actually do have to add them together, and they still don't come up to Emmitt Smith's numbers. So, Emmitt Smith.
I mean, just in Dallas, he had 17,162 rushing yards. He also holds the career leader for rushing attempts and total combined touches. He had 1,409 total rushing attempts his entire career. And then if you include receptions, he had 4,924. He had the ball in his hands for his career.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
How he lasted for so long, I don't know. Like, it's insane. Also, again, 3-time Super Bowl champ, a Super Bowl MVP, and also a regular season MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and a 4-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler. Like,
yeah.
Dude is a machine. Again, the biggest thing is I don't know how he was so durable. I don't know how he did it. Like, even then, that's a lot.
He was just built different.
Apparently, and he's not that big though. He was 5'220", 5'11", 220.
Okay, so for the wide receiver, I want to jump the queue here, and I want to go first because I pulled an Adam, and I chose Jason Witten as my best wide receiver
and best tight end.
But I know he's a tight end. But as a tight end, he has the most receiving yards. In receiving touchdowns, he's only second to Des Bryant. And his catch percentage is north of 70%. The only other two Cowboys that did north of 70% had a third of the receptions. Jason Witten is a machine. And even if you don't call him a wide receiver, he is the best wide receiver.
That's fair.
Honorable mention to Michael Irvin.
I'll be honest, I didn't really think about putting him in that spot, but I probably should have, honestly. Because I had Irving on mine, but I had CeeDee Lamb as my number 2, to be honest.
CeeDee Lamb was on there.
I was looking at it, and I was looking at a couple of the guys that were the primary receivers back in the 70s with Staubach. They couldn't hold on to the ball, man.
Nope.
Like, that was my biggest issue, is like, I mean, Michael Irvin had 59% catch rate, so just barely didn't make 60, which is pretty decent for a receiver, especially in the time when he played where those dudes just got leveled and he went across the field. Like, he basically took the hospital balls. That's what he made a career out of, is going across the middle and catching the ball and getting laid out. That's what he made his career doing. And he still held on to it almost 60% of the time. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I remember they made a joke about that where he was unconscious holding onto the ball. It was like, man, that's dedication right there.
Yeah, like, it's insane. I mean, I had CeeDee Lamb as my number 2 just because while he hasn't been there as long as a lot of the other guys, he's already like 5th on the list.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb really ranked high, but I was really afraid that it was recency bias that was pushing that on me.
Not really. Like, I mean, because you said Witten had 70% catch rate. CeeDee Lamb has 68.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not that far behind Jason Witten.
No, he's
really been in the league 6 years, and he's been a Pro Bowler every year except his rookie season. He's been a 3-time All-Pro already as well. Like, dude's already already a top 5 receiver in the league. And he's only been in the league for, 6 years now at this point. So I guess it's a little bit longer than you think. But, like, I honestly think by the end of his career, as long as we don't have any, like, catastrophic injuries, he'll be number 1.
I could see that. If he doesn't beat Jason Witten's numbers, I'll definitely give him the honorable mention spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's already at 7,400 yards 6 years in. Give him another 6 years and you double it, he's going to be at just south of 15,000.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean,
stick with it, CeeDee Lamb. You got
right.
This.
So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I CeeDee Lamb's going to be probably number 1 by the time his career is over, if they can get a Super Bowl. It's beating a 3-time Super Bowl champ is going to be hard. that three-time Super Bowl champ thing is hard to kind of overcome by just statistics alone.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy.
So, all right. So I know you said Jason Witten's your top tight end, and he is mine. I'm curious, who is your number 2?
Honorable mentions for the tight end, I had Jay Novacek, Billy Joe Dupree, and Doug Cosby. I was leaning towards Novacek just because he was a 5-time Pro Bowler, but Billy Joe Dupree and Doug Cosby were both 3-time Pro Bowlers, and all of them had near decade-long careers with the Cowboys. Oh, well, except for Novacek. Novacek was 6 years.
Novacek was there 6 years, but in those 6 years, he won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, and 5-time Pro Bowl.
Yep. And he didn't make the Pro Bowl until he got to Dallas.
Which was crazy.
Yeah. It's funny because you got to also think about it. He's like the 4th option probably on that offense, and he's still a Pro Bowler just about every year.
Yeah.
2-time All-Pro. Like, yeah, his counting stats don't add up to much, but again, this comes back to tight ends weren't used as receivers in the 90s. They just weren't. That's not what their primary thing was. They were primarily just an extra blocker.
Yeah.
And he was a fantastic blocker along with a very important piece in the offense in that. So it's like I had to put him number 2 just because like he was a big part of that Super Bowl run for all 3 fronts that they had.
Yeah. I tried not to, but it's hard. You got to take into account that, yeah, he was with Aikman and Emmitt Smith, and just he was with that dynasty of Cowboys awesome of the 90s, and I'm glad Pete's not here for that. But
they're entering their own dynasty. He's got no room to talk.
But yeah, I was really surprised that Jason Witten and Novacek. There were a lot of good Cowboy tight ends, I got to admit.
I've actually got a signed picture and football from Jay Novacek sitting in the room over here.
Nice.
I just don't have a mounted or anything like that, but I got sent those a number of years ago. An aunt and uncle, one of my aunt and uncles lived in the Dallas area. And my aunt is a realtor person, and one of their events they had for it and everything, he was there and stuff, and they had autograph stuff, and so they got it and sent it to me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so I got some signed Jay Novacek memorabilia sitting back here, so it's kind of neat.
Definitely hold on to that. All right, I feel like I've stolen the thunder from you for the most of your team's night. So, Adam, who's the best kicker of the Cowboys?
So this was the hardest position because Dallas doesn't hold on to kickers. They just don't. They never have. Even when they're good, they don't really hold on to them for that long. So as I'm looking through everything, I mean, it may be recency bias, call it what you want. It's Brandon Aubrey. And it kind of wasn't close, to be honest with you. Like, Dan Bailey was my number 2. Like, he was there a lot longer, but like, Aubrey's only been in the league for 3 years. He's a 3-time All-Pro and a 3-time Pro Bowler in 3 years. He just signed a contract like 2 days ago, paying him over $8 million a year as the highest paid kicker in the NFL. It's a 4-year 28. No, 4-year 28. So it's just 7. But like but I think 20 of it's guaranteed for a kicker.
So I reserve the right to revisit this question in a few years because Brandon Aubrey is doing an amazing job, and in a couple of years he's going to take the spot away from Dan Bailey. And everything you said is just the same. He's just amazing.
So the biggest reason I picked Aubrey over Bailey is that they both had equal field goal percentages, but in 3 years, Brandon Aubrey has gone 35 of 44 from 50-plus yard field goals.
Yep.
Whereas for Dan Bailey's entire Dallas run, which was, I think, 7 years? 8 years?
7 years. 7 years.
He went 27 of 40, which still is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all.
It's not bad.
But the fact that Aubrey is 35 of 44 is insane from 50 yards out.
Yeah, I gave it to Dan Bailey because if you don't take into account the distance, Dan Bailey had over 200 field goal attempts and made 88 of them. Yeah. 88% of them, rather. Sorry. 88%, which is phenomenal. The only other Cowboy kickers who have kicked that many field goals have had an accuracy of 72%. And when your job is to be accurate, Dan Bailey and Brandon Aubrey are doing an amazing job.
Yeah. Dan Bailey's basically kicking 80% from 50 plus, which is absolutely fantastic and also insane at the same time. And I'm really glad that Dallas re-signed him. I kind of want to get an Aubrey jersey, not going to lie.
That is high praise, getting a kicker's jersey.
I know, right? And he's actually got a decent number, too. He's not just number 1 or something boring.
Yeah.
He's number 17.
Sorry. Yeah, Pat McAfee had 1, I think.
Yeah, it's just that boring.
Well, that is it for the Dallas Cowboys and the NFC East. Tell us what you think. Who did you agree with? Who did you think was a moron? Let us know down in the comments, and tune in next time when we examine the pinnacle of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm really shocked you didn't decide to go with the Colts first.
They have their turn.
AFC South.
They'll have their turn.
Yeah, I know. Jaguars, that's going to be slim pickings, man. There's not a lot there. I think I know who Pete's best quarterback's going to be.
Well, they've had 1.
Well, they've had more than 1.
Okay, they've had 2. They've had 2 good ones.
They've had 3 good quarterbacks.
All right.
Just because you can't name them.
No, I can't. I can only name 2. I can name their current quarterback, and I can name the first major one they had. But anyways.
Maybe. Who's that? I'm curious now.
Blake Bortles?
That was not the first major quarterback they had. Not even close.
That's the one I remember.
Yeah, his lone good season was 2015. The team's been around since 1998.
Oh yeah, that's right. They weren't the 2-0. They weren't the 0-2 team. That was the Texans.
That was the Texans.
Shoot.
Yeah, they've been around since 98 with the Panthers. Those 2 teams came in the same year.
Man, that's a tough one to remember then. No.
But you know what? We'll talk about them next week, guys. So tune in for that episode. And I think that's going to be towards the end of this episode for us. We're going to go ahead and move on into final thoughts. And I'm going to take mine first. The NBA is slowly putting out the season awards for the year. And so far, the San Antonio Spurs have 2 players with season awards. Victor Wembanyama has won the Defensive Player of the Year award, and Keldon Johnson, his teammate, has won Sixth Man of the Year award. Now, for those that don't know, Sixth Man of the Year is meant for the best bench player on an NBA team. The guy that doesn't start, but also is one of the highest contributors to a team off the bench. And that was Keldon Johnson this year. So,
which is cool.
He joins in the prestige of Manu Ginobili as being one of the Spurs' great sixth man. So it's kind of cool to see them getting some of the awards this year. And as an update on Victor Wembanyama, they said he is under concussion protocol. So it's not a major knee or leg injury or anything. During game 2 that we talked about earlier, he ended up getting a concussion about 12 minutes into the game. So he has to be out for at least 48 hours before he can play again. They play, I think, Friday in Portland, I think, is when they play their next game. So he hopefully, as long as everything clears and he's all right, he should be good to go by game 3.
Yeah, he'll be getting that exam right outside the gateway going into this game.
Probably, or before he gets on the plane, because even if he doesn't play, he'll probably still be there with the team, but
for sure.
So, but yeah.
Congratulations to Tyler Reddick for winning the 5th race of his first 9 races of the season. This is the first time a racer has accomplished this since Dale Earnhardt in 1987.
I love the young people.
big football news. The Buffalo Sabres won their first postseason game since they won 2 of 5 quarterfinal games against Philly in 2010. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with football? Well, for 15 years, the New York Jets and the Buffalo Sabres have been tied for the longest postseason drought in professional sports. Now the Jets are alone on top of Mount Bad, being the only team to not win a playoff game since 2010 against the Patriots. That's right. Mark Sanchez and LaDainian Tomlinson beat Tom Brady in the postseason in 2010. That is something that you tell your grandkids about forever.
That's the last good thing that ever happened to the Jets franchise. I remember that game too. I remember that game a lot. They were like that game. They were so hyped and so pumped for that game, and then lost the next week. And I'm pretty sure they used all of their mental and physical energy in that game that they had nothing left by the next week.
Yep. And finally, I want to wish a happy belated birthday to our very own Adam.
Amazing Dr. Boy! Dr. Birthday Boy!
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And we will be hanging out this coming weekend to celebrate.
Woo, woo.
So that is going to be it for today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Geeks and Greeks podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Don't forget to check out our social medias at Facebook and Instagram at Geeks and Greeks. Until next time, may the coin toss of life ever be in your favor. Later, guys.
Peace.